Corner, and this is a show that we're going to do every Wednesday starting from now until the end of the season. Today is June 15th, 2016. And we're going to take this time every week to reflect on the previous practice and preview the upcoming practice. And our previous practice was not last Saturday, it was 2 weeks ago on June 4th. And the practice consisted of introductions and team rules and our motion offense and motion principles. And then it was finished with free throws, as always, and scrimmaging. And former Greyhound was in attendance, Shalom I. Minor. There were two coaches there, Joe Vansel, the head coach, and Mason Chandler. At this point, still the top assistant. Second assistant, Sam Club, was not there. So, we can't really reflect that much from practice number 1, but we can preview practice number 2 and some of the things that we've heard about for this upcoming practice. First practice, there were 10 people there. Asa, the first string point guard coming into the preseason, and Tosin, a power forward who was listed as second string, third string, bench, who knows. Neither of them showed up, and so then there were 10 people. Yes, there were 10 people because earlier that week, the staff had decided to assign Ian Meyer a role on the team. So now the team has 12 players with 7 returners and 5 newcomers. And there were 5 returners and 5 newcomers at the first practice. Second practice, we can already tell you that Connor Parrish will not be here. He's currently on a 2-week basketball camp down in Tucson, Arizona. That's Sean Miller's basketball camp. And Bryce Irvin, a first-string power forward, will not be at practice because of a school trip out to Wyoming. All 3 coaches will be there, and at this point we don't know if the other 10 will show up. We're guessing that they will at this point. This practice will consist of learning 2 different defensive styles, the 2-3 zone and the 1-3-1 half-court trap. And or full-court trap. And as well as our other offense besides motion, which is baseline block. And so there should be lots of returners there to help. And once again, all 3 coaches will be there, but top assistant Mason Chandler will be leaving halfway through. And so just like last week where it was Chandler and Vansel at the end of practice to have coach time, now it'll be Club and Vansel at the end. And next week, we can tell you that Chandler will not be there, so it'll be Club and Vansel again. But if you don't know the roster, point guards at this point going into week 2 are Asa and Lindale and Keelan. And then the shooting guards are Connor and Colin and Brendan and Ian. And so I can't remember the list. Power forwards, they are Cody and Tosin and Lemuel and Bryce. And I know I'm missing someone. Who am I forgetting? Oh, and Ian. Did I say Ian? Anyway, there's 12 of the guys. And so, That is the maximum amount you can have on a team. And so we will be back on Friday, and we'll be back on Saturday for post practice. Here's our schedule. Saturday morning, once again, our Greyhound TV coverage. It'll be our ride to work at 8 o'clock with both of the assistant coaches. And then at 8:30, it's pre-practice, and we'll get coaches' interviews, comments, and just the look at the gym before practice starts to settle in. And then whenever the first player shows up, which is usually around 8:40, 8:50, is when practice will officially start, and it'll end around 12:20. And post-practice will be from 12:20 to 3 o'clock. And that'll be the coach interactions and meetings, number one practices, etc. And then we'll get you set for practice number 3, which will be June 25th. We decided to do these on Wednesday because it's right in the middle of the week between Saturdays, as well as there could be times this season where we could have practices on Wednesdays. And if there is a practice on a Wednesday night, we might not do one of these until Wednesday night, where we do a practice review. But other than that, first practice went pretty well, according to both of the coaches. I've heard a lot of information about the first practice, even though I was not there. And second practice on Saturday is highly anticipated with whoever's going to be there. We know there's going to be at least 10, or there's going to be 10, and if not, then there will be less than 10, with 2 of the players gone. This is practice number 2 of the 5 practices scheduled, and then there is a challenge game on July 16th. Friday, July 22nd is the schedule of the games, and that is the opening of the games. We are 37 days away from Show Me State play. And speaking of that, we would like you to access our Hound blog, which gives you practice recaps and reviews and articles about the Greyhounds, as well as follow us on Twitter at Como Greyhounds, where we'll have updates, reviews, comments, pictures, and our live countdown of day by day. We're honoring Greyhounds each and every day, past, present, and by what number they wore. And so it's all fun and games. It's all exciting. So until Friday or Saturday or whenever we give our next interview, this has been Greyhound Corner on Greyhound TV on this Wednesday afternoon with a review of practice number 1, short one, and a preview of practice number 2 and what it could look like with the 2-3, the 1-3-1, and the baseline block, as well as free throws and scrimmaging. So, see you later in the week. Go Greyhounds.